Welcome to Newspresso. I'm Vikram.
And I'm Kavya. It's Friday, July 17th, 2026, and we have a very stacked episode today.
Seriously stacked. 9 stories, 4 categories, and a lot to unpack.
So let's just get into it. Okay, starting with football, but this is really about more than football. Argentina beat England 2-1, and then that banner, Las Malvinas son Argentinas, showed up on the pitch.
And that goes back to a very old dispute. Britain has controlled the Falklands since 1833, while Argentina has claimed them since the 19th century.
What makes this awkward is that it happened right after the win, with Giovanni Lo Celso and Nicolas Otamendi seen holding the banner before it was laid on the pitch.
Which is exactly the kind of thing FIFA and IFAB rules are meant to stop. Political messaging in stadiums is not supposed to be part of the occasion.
And FIFA has done this before with Argentina, right?
Yes, they were fined in 2014 for a similar display, so this is not uncharted territory.
It's one of those moments where sport, identity, and history collide all at once.
The pattern here is actually consistent. FIFA usually waits for match reports before deciding on sanctions, so a penalty, if any, will depend on the post-match review.
And because Argentina and England have this heated historical rivalry, the atmosphere was already charged.
Exactly. The war memory still sits underneath all of it. The question now is whether this becomes a fine, a ban, or just another chapter in a very old dispute.
Alright, shifting from football to cricket, and this one feels like a big structural change.
It is. The ICC has approved a new 3-stage format for the 2027 World Cup.
Walk me through it because the names alone, Super Series, Super 7, sound like someone was having a very ambitious meeting.
A little, yes. The bottom 3 ranked teams will start in a round-robin Super Series. The winner joins 11 other teams in 2 groups of 6 for 30 matches.
Then comes the Super 7.
Right. That stage decides the 4 semi-finalists, with 4 advancing to the knockout phase. The ICC says the idea is to make every match matter from day one.
So if you zoom out, it's about more context and competitiveness.
And broadcast appeal too. They want to keep the sport accessible to emerging nations. But there's criticism that this could reduce direct entry and limit exposure for lower-ranked teams.
That inclusion versus spectacle argument comes up in so many sports decisions now.
It does. And the timing matters too. The World Cup is set to be co-hosted by South Africa, Zimbabwe and Namibia in late 2027, with the T20 World Cup moving to 2028 under the new structure.
There's also the governance side, Mauritius joining as the 111th ICC member and Cricket Canada facing reinstatement conditions after governance breaches.
That's the broader picture. The ICC is clearly trying to reshape both competition and membership pathways at once.
And then on the field, Argentina and England gave us the kind of ending that makes people sit up in silence.
England had the lead for most of the match after Anthony Gordon scored in the second half.
But then Lionel Messi did that Lionel Messi thing.
He did. Enzo Fernandez equalized in the 85th minute, and then Messi's cross found Lautaro Martinez for the stoppage-time winner.
That is a brutal way to lose if you're England.
It is, and Thomas Tuchel will face scrutiny for his late-game changes, including a move to a defensive shape that stretched the team and invited pressure.
So the tactical shift is part of the story, not just the result.
Absolutely. Argentina have now built a reputation as comeback specialists in this World Cup, with late recoveries against Cape Verde, Egypt and Switzerland.
And this win sends them to the final against Spain in New York, New Jersey.
Yes, it's a rematch of old rivalries, and Messi's assist tally keeps climbing as his team stays alive for back-to-back titles.
For England, though, it's another reminder that closing out big games is still the hard part.
That's the story. They had control, and then they didn't.
Okay, moving into business and consumer law. This one feels very everyday life, very real world.
It is. The Raipur District Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission ordered Maruti Suzuki and a local Nexa dealer to either replace a Grand Vitara Strong Hybrid with a brand new E20 compatible vehicle within 45 days or refund about 20.50 lakh.
That's the vehicle, RTO charges, insurance, all of it.
Yes. And on top of that, the commission ordered 1 lakh rupees as compensation for mental harassment and 10,000 rupees towards litigation costs.
That is a serious ruling.
The complaint came from a kidney specialist in Raipur who said the car developed engine trouble after being fueled with E20 petrol.
And the court found deficiency in service and unfair trade practices?
Against both the manufacturer and the dealer, yes. The ruling effectively links non-E20 compatible vehicles to service deficiency and a breach of fair trade practice.
What people don't remember is that fuel policy shifts sound abstract until they hit ownership costs.
Exactly. E20 is part of a broader ethanol blending push aimed at reducing oil imports and emissions, but critics have raised compatibility and consumer information concerns.
Maruti disputes the claim though.
It does. The company says tests and lab reports suggest ethanol contamination could be involved, and it may contest the decision.
So this could matter far beyond one car.
It could. The ruling may shape how automakers disclose fuel compatibility and how similar complaints are handled going forward.
And now to something that sounds small, but actually tells you a lot about how services are changing.
You mean the Instamart and HPCL partnership in Bangalore?
Exactly. On-demand LPG delivery through a quick commerce app is such a clear sign of where consumer expectations are heading.
It's the first tie-up of its kind in India. Customers can order HP Navra 10 kg composite cylinders or 5 kg metal variants through the Instamart app.
And deliveries are handled by HPCL's distributor network, not just some generic app courier setup.
Correct. The first order counts as a new cylinder purchase, and refills require returning the empty cylinder at delivery.
Identity verification is required too, right?
Yes, for first-time buyers, and delivery proof is built into the process. Safety and trust are clearly central here.
I like that this isn't pretending LPG is the same as groceries. It still has the regulated energy distribution layer underneath.
That's the point. It's quick commerce meeting a utility, not replacing the utility.
And the HP Navya cylinders are lighter, corrosion-resistant and translucent, so people can monitor gas levels.
Which makes them better suited to urban living. The rollout starts in Bangalore, with possible expansion to other cities if the pilot works.
So this is about convenience, but also about creating a digital channel for households, students, tenants, and small families.
Yes, a very modern wrapper around a very basic need.
Okay, tech time. And this one is going to make a lot of train travelers feel seen.
The new beta version of the IRCTC ticket portal has gone live.
And people are immediately noticing that it looks calmer.
Much calmer. The Railways Ministry says the redesign removes unnecessary captchas, pop-ups, flashing graphics and other distractions.
Honestly, that alone sounds like a quality of life upgrade.
It is. Passengers can now see seat availability across all classes on one screen, and the checkout flow has been shortened.
And saved passenger details means fewer steps for repeat bookings.
Exactly. But this is still a beta. Users are being invited to test it, give feedback, and help shape the final version.
So not the finished product yet.
Not at all. It's a live sandbox, while the Railways also works on the passenger reservation engine.
I remember the old IRCTC experience being very much a race against time, especially during Tatkal windows.
And that's why this matters. The ministry says the timing follows Ashwini Vaishnav's pledge for a smoother, faster experience by mid-July, with MNIT Jaipur students' suggestions feeding into the design.
That's actually a nice detail. Students influencing a national scale system.
It is. The bigger idea is modernization, but the real test will be whether it stays reliable when millions of people use it.
Entertainment corner now, and this is the kind of story where cinema, mythology, and audience debate all pile on top of each other.
Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is drawing comparisons to the Ramayana, especially around Odysseus stringing his bow.
Because people are seeing echoes of Rama lifting Shiva's bow?
Yes, and the comparison gets stronger because Ranveer Kapoor's Ramayana project is also teasing a similar moment.
That's such a fascinating crossover of mythic imagery across cultures.
Nolan's film itself is being discussed as a modern reading of Homer. Memory, home, war, guilt, love. Matt Damon plays Odysseus, with Anne Hathaway as Penelope and Tom Holland as Telemachus.
And this is the one shot in IMAX and 1570 format, right?
Yes, and that has created worldwide demand for rare screenings. Indian fans can't fully meet that locally, but some are looking abroad.
So the film's technical choices are part of the event, not just the packaging.
Exactly. Reviews praise the ambition and craft, though some critics point to pacing issues or moments that feel less faithful to Homer.
Still, the broader reaction seems to be that this is a major cinematic moment.
It is, especially because it follows Oppenheimer and keeps Nolan at the center of the IMAX 70mm conversation.
And in India, advance interest is strong enough that people are already talking about box office potential.
They are. The film is being treated as a serious event, not just another release.
And if the Odyssey is the prestige event conversation, Dhamaal 4 is the pure crowd pleaser energy.
That's a good way to put it. On day 6, it earned about 6.50 crore net in India.
Which is down from day 5, but still enough to keep the total moving.
Yes, the India total reached 89.75 crore net and 107.11 crore gross, while worldwide collections climbed to 124.36 crores.
That's a very healthy run for a comedy.
It is. The film opened with 14 crores on day one and had a weekend that brought in 65 crore net in India.
And the cast is packed. Ajay Devgan, Ritesh Deshmukh, Arshad Varsi, Javed Jaferi and more.
The film is from T-Series and Devgan Films, and while critics are mixed on the humor, audiences are still turning up, especially in big urban markets and multiplexes.
So the franchise familiarity is doing a lot of work here.
Absolutely. And with no major Hindi releases during the Independence Day weekend, it has room to keep building its domestic total.
Plus, Dhamaal 5 is already in development, which is very on brand for this kind of franchise.
Very much so. The pattern here is simple. If the audience likes the chaos, the run can continue longer than the reviews suggest.
Finally, back to the Odyssey, but this time on the critical response side, and it's nearly universal praise.
Yes, critics are calling it a grand, gutsy vision and a deeply human story about long journeys, not just monsters and battles.
That's such a Nolan move. Scale, but with emotional pressure underneath.
And the cast is stacked. Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Zendaya, Lupita Nyong'o, Robert Pattinson, Charlize Theron, Elliot Page, and others.
That is an absurdly loaded cast.
It is. The technical work is drawing almost as much attention as the performances, practical effects, sweeping 70mm IMAX visuals, and a kinetic rhythm that makes the world feel tangible.
And it was shot across 6 countries on IMAX film, which is apparently a first for a feature at this scale.
Yes, that scale has also sparked debate about history, gender, and culture in casting.
So not everyone is seeing it the same way.
No, but the dominant view is admiration. Some critics call it Nolan at his most ambitious, maybe even a career peak.
There are a few notes of criticism though.
A few. Some find moments dull or structurally clumsy, and a handful say the dialogue can feel broad, but those voices are in the minority.
So the real question now is whether early praise translates into box office staying power and awards momentum.
Exactly. The next few weeks will tell us that.
Alright, that's us for today on Newspresso. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Stay tuned and we'll be back soon with more.